Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, unfortunately, I will not be doing a uh, camera hot dog suit little moment in the corner today. As you guys were aware, in my last video, I got a stray cat. It was a bad decision, but a decision I made anyway. And she actually has claimed that hot dog suit as her bed. She sleeps in it. She loves it. And when I put it on, she thinks it's time to cuddle all over me and get all up on the desk. And you can't like really do anything in front of her, whether it's food or what have you, or she'll get into it. So it was proving to make this recording very difficult. So instead, you're just gonna hear my sexy voice. And today we are doing another part of my series of American Horror Story. And today we are doing Season 7 Cult. Now, as you see, we're already in Create Sim for Allie Mayfair Richards. And of course, this is Sarah Paulson's character. So I put her in a lot of blues, a lot of greens, kind of match her side of the political party. And besides that, most of it is just her ordinary kind of wifely looks, apart from the party wear where I put her in a robe, as that is like her cult attire. Everyone's party wear is their cult attire. So that's no different here, but I just put her in a lot of cardigans, a lot of pullovers, a lot of sweaters, and she's actually outside her house talking to her wife. And I put them in a house in Brindleton Bay. So I did not build this house because I actually built the butchery on Maine. So I was like, F building them a whole new house. I'm gonna just stick them in the house on the lot. So that's where they are right now. They're outside their house talking, discussing their marital problems. And we're gonna go to the Create a Sim and check out Ivy. So this is of course Allie's wife. It's who she has the baby with. And she, unbeknownst to Allie, is part of the cult that is tormenting her. I put her, Ivy, in a bunch of kind of why can I pronounce that word all of a sudden? Androgynous clothing. Oof, rough. And of course, her cult attire is a gnome outfit, which I thought was cute. But so yeah, we put her in those, and she just is in a lot of basic kind of polos. Her main outfit is like an apron because she's at work all the time. And then inside we have their son, Osmandius, or Ozzy, and he's just inside watching TV, hanging out in their basic ass base game home. Allie has decided to come inside, see what Ozzy is up to, watching TV with him, try to bond a little bit more. Ozzy is a very quiet kid. He really likes his alone time, and he doesn't really have too many friends in Brindleton Bay or anything like that, apart from his two moms. And I think that might separate him from a lot of people in Brindleton Bay and stuff like that too. But here we have his Create a Sim. I put him in a lot of the same color schemes as his mom's, both in green and blues. A lot of sweaters, a lot of pullovers, kind of some vintage clothing to go with his weird ass name. The outerwear or the activewear, it didn't really make any sense. But whatever, we're just going to keep on scrolling past that. He's the only person to not have a weird costume for his party attire because as he is like 8 or whatever, he is not in a cult, thankfully. But as the sun begins to set in Brindleton Bay, fuck, I was doing so well. Oh, I'm going to keep this recording. As the sun begins to set in Brindleton Bay, we have Winter coming to the house and interviewing for a spot at babysitting for them. The two moms are looking for some time they can put aside to go to the bakery every day and really focus on their work. So they're going to need a babysitter here to check out Osmandius, help him with homework and stuff like that. Now, already the two of them, Allie and Winter, are not off to a good start. They're arguing in this interview. They're like going at it. Yet I'm still going to hire her. She's still going to look after the kid, no matter if they're getting along or not. I don't think Allie as a sim gets along with many of the other sims. She's very paranoid and stuff like that. But here we have Winter. Of course, this is Billy Lord's character. I love how I dressed her up. I made her have like the gray hair with the feathers in it, as I thought the feathers added like a different dimension to her hair. And then for everything else, I kind of just stuck her in blacks, a lot of denim, a lot of dresses, and it's very much kind of coven-y. And of course, for her party outfit, I had to put her in a weird costume because she is part of the cult, and the cult is actually ran by her brother, but we'll get to that a little bit more here in a little bit. But like I said earlier, the interview didn't go well, but we're still going to go ahead and hire her as a babysitter for Osmandius, as it's important that he learns a few things that I think Winter could easily teach him.
Is this for real?
It's called the dark web. It's where you can find all the cool stuff.
Now it's time to head across the street to the neighbor's house. This is, of course, the first season we're introduced to Billy on the street and his wife on the show, who's been in the show ever since then. I can't think of her name. Oh, wow. But yeah, we decided I'm going to send the two wives over there, and we're going to meet everyone, see what the neighborhood's like. And instantly, it doesn't go too well. I mean, they're trying to talk to them, and they're just kind of ignoring them to talk to each other. They're not really paying any attention to their new neighbors. And when they do, they kind of give them a bit of attitude. Alright, so Billy Eichner's character is Harrison Wilton, and like most of the Sims in this season, I stuck with a bunch of knitted wear, a bunch of sweaters, a bunch of cardigans. I put him in a bunch of tan colored clothing, a lot of like white bread is the vibe I got from him. Of course, he is gay and married to his wife. As kind of like a cover-up sort of thing. They had a deal going on, so he is interested in men, and I'm sure he's going to have his way around Brindleton Bay. When it comes to his party outfit, of course, he is part of the cult, so he is, I don't know where I was going with the end of that sentence.
That's so. Shiruna.
Aha. Siwa.
Boy Yarba.
Panka.
So big
Minerva Sarb.
But like I mentioned earlier, things aren't going that well, as they have all immediately started arguing with each other. They're all kind of being sassy, throwing insults and shade here and there, while still trying to be pleasant with a fake smile on their face. Very white suburban neighborhood to me, those kind of vibes. So none of them are getting along too well, and I think that's going to come back up later on in this Let's Play, as all of them will meet again, and it may come to a violent end. So this whole pre-argument happening right now as soon as they meet each other, it's not looking too good.
Brainum Dubma. Charb.
And here we have Meadow Welton create a sim. I put her in a lot of the same color palette as everyone else. A lot of beige, a lot of neutrals, a lot of light greens. But I did kind of spice it up when it came to her formal attire and stuff like that. Of course, she always has shades on and almost always has a hat on, as she is allergic to the sun and can't really be around the sun rays for too long. I should have probably put more like hats and stuff in her bathing suit, but you know, she's in a pool. She's automatically protected by the sun, right? Anyway, so the argument is getting heated. They're all kind of like laughing about it and laughing it off and just laughing at each other's stupidity, thinking that they've won the argument through their own arrogance. But I think we will find out later on who really won this argument.
Tribna.
But finally, we're going to head out of the neighborhood into the main downtown area of Brindleton Bay. And of course, this is where I have built the lot for this season, and that is going to be the butchery on Main. I was like, I don't want to build just a normal suburban house for these guys. I kind of want to build a lot that we haven't done before in this series, so why not a restaurant? I thought it was kind of the perfect fit. And as you can see, right outside the restaurant, we have some protesters going on, and the news is there to report on it. And of course, the news anchor herself is Beverly Hope, who is also a character played by Adina? reporter. Jeez, I should have looked up these names and stuff before I started recording, but I don't care enough. Since she is a news reporter, she's in a lot of kind of formal attire, a lot of blazers, a lot of skirts, that kind of stuff. But secretly, she is also part of the cult. So her party attire is going to be a funny costume because she is secretly part of the cult.
You dumpsel again, so!
And of course, the protest outside is being ran by none other than Kai Anderson. All right, so this is Winter's brother that I mentioned earlier. He is, of course, the leader of the cult, and he is here protesting minimum wage, it looks like.
And her Grosh!
So this restaurant, the Butchery on Main, is Allie and Ivy's baby besides their adopted one. They've worked together really hard on opening this restaurant. It's really elegant, and it's all just black and white and brick and gold, and it looks really cool on the inside. And of course, naturally, their neighbors want to come and have a bite to eat, but due to their argument and everything yesterday, Allie and Ivy have not put them on the list, and the waiter or the host is telling them that they are not allowed to eat here. And I don't think Ivy is going, or not Ivy, fuck. I don't think their neighbors are going to take that too kindly. So you see she's kind of losing her mind on him, and they storm out, but they will be back. But it looks as though Kai has snuck himself in here at the bar, and he sees Allie and Ivy, and he scoots on down and starts having a discussion with them. He looks kind of sad. He looks like maybe that's the way he eased his way in there. He's probably talking about what he's protesting for and why it upsets him, and trying to see where they align politically to see if he can get them to be a member of his cult or not.
Oh, Bernarla Deroy.
Bahira
Oh my god,
Harsha?
if I could put a number on the amount of times during this recording this dumb cat has jumped up on my desk, gotten in my face, stomped on the keyboard, took control of the microphone. She really wants to just run this YouTube channel. She wants her own channel, her own vlogs, and she's making it impossible for me. If any of you guys want a stray cat and you live in the Kansas City area, hit me up. I got one for you, because she's getting on my last nerve.
Bahira. Prodema Rothase. Mubuz Kenna. Belindi.
Also, this whole time, Allie has been behind the bar, working the bar while, or I guess Ivy has been behind the bar working it while Allie and Kai have their conversation. And it's really funny. I love watching the red-headed bartender keep coming up to try to go to work and then just awkwardly walking back to the kitchen over and over again. I get a weird joy out of that. I finally send Ivy to the back so the poor girl can actually get to work. And then right around then is when Kai decides to head out. The argument was not going to his side, to his benefit. It wasn't really working out that way, so he ends up heading out, and I end up using him to show you what's upstairs. So downstairs we have the whole restaurant, including 2 bathrooms and a kitchen. But upstairs we actually have more of like a political space. So as he just walks through the door like a little ghosty, we come inside, and I think at the time I had just gotten university, so there's a lot of university furniture. When you go up there's a big hangout area with computers and stuff like that. And then there's this other room that has 2 podiums and a bunch of seats at it, so you can have political debates here. This is kind of where I think like town hall members would kind of get together and discuss things. So that's what he's here to do. He's here to discuss his political beliefs with people that agree with him. And the only 2 people that are watching him are the 2 neighbors right now. So I think this is the time where they've really fully decided to be members of his cult, and they're anti-Allie. So here we're going to look at his creative sim. Of course, he has that great blue hair. And besides that, I kind of try to stick him in yellows and complementing colors. Of course, with his workout gear and his political gear, he has a nice man bun going on. His sleepwear looks like something a cult leader would wear. And his party wear being a blood-faced clown, which I think is just perfect. But Allie has decided to come up here and see what's going on for herself. And she walks in and sees that he's having his own little political debate, and she's like, well, you can't have a debate with just one person. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to listen to you for a bit, but she ends up getting up and debating the other side, as she has found herself to be having opposing views with Kai.
Jib Jub, Sabachaniv, Smolno Akuk, Von Tu, Whiffaloy, Sensi Ne, Kukul, Quidma, Yava, Lunzai,
Renozobe.
Planera, Visselfrid,
But I don't really think it's doing her any real favors. The two audience members that are there are clearly there for Kai. And Kai is kind of getting aggravated. He pushes Allie a little bit. You know, he's like, why are you coming up here just to ruin things for me? And he dips out. And as you see, Allie is pretty paranoid about it. She doesn't know what's going on. All she knows is that she's standing up for what she believes in. And of course, we have Ivy down here. It is a butchery after all, so she is tending to the meats and beating that meat, trying to make sure it's nice and tender for her guests.
Hey, Kevin!
But thanks to Allie going up there and spouting her own political beliefs and kind of starting arguments with the protesters outside, the protest has now moved inside. And of course, the protesters are all part of the cult. And this is where I decide, you know what, let's use that group making things that we got when it came to get together and stuff like that, and let's actually make a cult. They can all wear their outfits at once, and I put things like they like arguing, they like fighting, they like stealing, you know, I just kind of put a bunch of bad activities and the things they like to do to see what kind of mayhem would start and what they would get into once I started a group hangout with them. Alright, so I've gone ahead, I've closed down the restaurant for the night, but all the protesters have decided to change outfits. They're all, you know, time to get back at Allie, and they've all dressed up in their cult attire. The only ones left in the restaurant now at this point are the chef and Allie herself. All the other remaining members that weren't there before have came and joined, and now they're going to start their tormenting. They're kind of leaving Allie alone, surprisingly. She's just kind of standing back and watching, and Kai, he's mainly focusing on this poor chef, as he's the only other person here. They immediately start arguing and bickering at one another, and things turn violent very quickly. Alright, but surprisingly, Kai actually loses the fist fight, and I think that kind of pisses him off even more, as he decides he's going to hold the chef at gunpoint as hostage and try to get some money out of him, some money out of Allie. Everyone is freaking out, even his cult members. I don't think this really was part of the plan. He was just going to go up there and beat some people up, but since that didn't go his way, he's just going to try to get some money out of it. And now that the chef is fully scared and terrified for his life, Kai can now beat him up to a pulp. And once he's done beating up the chef, that kind of wraps up what the cult was doing there, wraps up their cult activities, and they decide to head out right as Ivy decides to leave the kitchen, unaware of anything that happened before.
What's going on? There was a clown!
So, of course, she sees the chef is hurt. She hears Allie complaining, but she didn't really have any full visual evidence of this cult, and plus, she's secretly a part of it. So, she's not really doing anything about it. She's not really helping any of them, and they both kind of decide to head home once they take that chef to the hospital, I think.
Zots? La Susa!
Again, like earlier, Winter is here just watching Osmandius. They've been watching TV and doing homework all day. Ivy decides to head upstairs and change out of her work clothes, and Allie sits down with her son to catch up and see what they've been up to. Of course, she's still not getting along with Winter necessarily, and she probably has her suspicions as to if she's a cult member, if she knows Kai, if they're brother and sister, all that kind of stuff. So she immediately starts arguing with her. You know, what have you been up to? Have you left the house? Not believing anything that she's telling her.
Herb. Nibna.
Imbaliness wabarani bayun squirmish.
So low.
And I think at this point, Allie is just fed up with everything that's gone on today, and she just wails on Winter, hits her across the face, and kind of doesn't take any of the crap that Winter's giving her at all. Winter goes to the corner, starts freaking out and screaming, and it ends up she was screaming for the rest of the cult, who was actually hiding upstairs. Ivy has gone ahead and changed to her gnome outfit. Kai and everyone else has appeared. Winter changes into her outfit, and now the whole cult is inside the house. As we see, Kai has taken something out and has like a blowhorn, and he's actually calling for the rest of his gang to come. He wants more backup, more reinforcement. So Vlad was knocking on the door. He's leaving now. We ignored him. And the rest of the gang is arriving to the house and to the neighborhood, and Kai is going to greet them. They're falling out of the sky. They're coming from explosions. It's all very dramatic and very weird. But they've all met up here at the street corner, and they're all kind of discussing what Kai is up to, what he's wanting them to do, and any kind of tasks that they have in store.
Bibidor!
Yeah, no, it's...
However, Kai pulls his car up and says, fuck it, and decides, this gang isn't for me. I have a new cult in town. You guys are not helpful. You're not here to do what I want you to do. I just want to kill you. So he gets in the car, he has a few donuts, shoots around, and kills everyone in sight, runs over his entire gang, and he has gone from 2 cults down to 1.
Farba.
Alright, so nothing crazy is going on with the cult in the house. However, as you can see, Osmandius has learned a few things while hanging out with Winter. It seems that on the dark web, she has ordered him a book of dark arts, dark spells, and, you know, sacrificial mods. So he has been taking a liking to that. He's been reading it, and he has been getting some powers of his own. So he was just floating, doing some ooky spooky things, and now he's reading up a little bit more, trying to defend himself. As we see, Kai has already killed his gang outside, and that does not stop him from killing his new cult inside the house either. He comes inside, he goes right up to Adina Porter's character and rips her heart out of her costume, and is threatening everyone else, being like, look how crazy I am, look what I can do. And I think everyone is pretty terrified of him, except for Allie, who is dancing the night away. Now we see that Winter has gone up to Ivy, and she is body slamming Ivy down into the ground. I love seeing everyone in their costumes fighting. I love that Ivy is now dead headfirst in the ground.
Alice, Eva.
I only want 2 things in this life. I want Oz all to myself. And I want to watch you die.
Unfortunately, that does mean that Ivy, who is Ozzy's son, what? That's a plot twist. Ivy, who is Ozzy's mom, was murdered right in front of him, so he's gonna be scarred for life, that's for sure, but he's also here to take some revenge. As he's been learning powers, he can now seek revenge and has decided to use it on Winter for killing his mom. So she has peed herself and then immediately drowns in her own pee, which just so happens to be right on top of Ivy. Alright, but I didn't lock the doors, so the cops have arrived. They've heard of all the murders and everything going on. I'm assuming Allie has called the cops. And then that one cop just like disappears and reappears and is crying at the gruesome scene. I don't know what was going on there. Of course, Kai is shooting at all the cops that are entering the building. It doesn't seem like he's hitting any of them though. Mainly just causing a big distraction, a big bang. All the cops are pretty upset with the scene they see in front of them. They're firing their own guns. Kai has taken a bat out. I mean, things are getting crazy, but nothing is actually happening. No one's actually shooting anything. Cops aren't actually protecting anyone. And instead, Kai gets his knife out and decides, I'm just going to end it now before you guys try to get me, arrest me, and do anything. So he slits his wrist, and he is now dead as well. I think that's the 5th body on the ground. The Grim Reaper, of course, is here to collect the other ones. Ivy's legs are still kicking. But now we don't really have to worry about Kai endangering any more lives. So it looks like Allie is safe with her son. And I think the mouse outfit is one of the neighbors. I'm pretty sure. But Allie has gone back to the butchery. She's here to check up on anything there, if her money is still there, if the place has been broken into, and everything seems to be okay. She heads to the bathroom. I thought I'd give you a little peek of that. And she looks in the mirror and she puts on her cult garb. And of course, as one cult ends, a new cult is beginning to form, with Allie forming her own cult. Is it, that feminist cult that's mentioned in the show? Is it another one that she's starting? Is it a witch coven? Who knows? I like the mystery, and I actually really do like this season. At the time, I kind of had mixed reviews on it. I wasn't too sure where it was going, if I was liking where it was going. But I think I do actually enjoy this season. It's more realistic. It talks about fears that I actually have, including fears of holes and stuff like that. So I found it really fitting. When it comes to the ranking, I would say it goes Murder House, Asylum, Roanoke, Freak Show, Coven, Hotel. Oh wait, I forgot to place this one. I guess this one goes smack in the middle. It goes like above Hotel, under Coven, I think. But I'm going to end it off here. Sorry that I didn't get to get myself on video today. Hopefully I will in the next one when I do American Horror Story Apocalypse. So I'll see you on Wednesday for that. Until then, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.